For a long time, my favorite female anime character was a no-brainer, Nausicaa from Kaze no Tani no Nausicaa, or Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind. Strong, intelligent, empathetic, kind, wise beyond her years. She was ready to give her life, avenging her father's death, but Yupasama reminded her that she now carried the great burden as leader of her people, and revenge, violence itself, was not the best way forward. Nausicaa took that to heart and was able to save her valley through kindness and understanding and willingness to sacrifice. If you have never seen the movie, get on that ASAP. It is a must-see. Written and directed by legendary Hayao Miyazaki and based on a manga he started in 1982 and would continue to completion in 1994. This pre-Ghibli creation, Kaze no Tani no Nausicaa, was released in 1984 to immediate acclaim. You must be aware, however, that the film covers roughly the first 15% of the whole story. Yes, that's right, there is another 85% waiting for you in the manga, so jump on that as soon as you can, too. I'm proud to say that I cannot count how many times I've watched this film. I own it on Japanese VHS, Japanese DVD, English subbed DVD, subbed and dubbed Blu-ray, and as the complete collected manga. Hardcover, of course, with a map. That's over 1,000 pages of mesmerizing, thought-provoking storytelling from Miyazaki's very mind and hand. Yes, Nausicaa has long reigned supreme as my favorite female anime character and possibly my favorite female character in all of fiction. But a challenger has appeared, and I have to say that while she cannot surpass Nausicaa, she is pretty much tied for number one on my list. That character is the unlikely yet utterly deserving Renge Miyauchi from Non Biyori. If you know who Renge is, or don't, if you've seen Non Biyori or haven't, if you agree with me that she's outstanding, or you have other favorites, please leave a comment and let me know what you're thinking. Also, share this video with anyone who might be interested, and consider hitting the like button and subscribing to my channel if you wind up enjoying this video. Non Biyori started life as a manga written by mangaka Atto and published from 2009 to 2021. The anime is comprised of 3 seasons, 12 episodes each. The first, Non Biyori, aired in 2013. The second, Non Biyori Repeat, appeared on screens in 2015. There was a film, Non Biyori Vacation, in 2018. The final season, Non Biyori Non-Stop, came out in 2021. All of these seasons are must-see, and the ending song from Non-Stop, called Tadaima and performed by the main cast as their characters, is on repeat in my brain. Who are the main characters, though, and how does Renge Miyauchi fit into the group? Let me explain. It all starts in the fictional village of Ashigaoka, somewhere in the Japanese countryside. There is a school, but it is virtually empty as there are so few children living in the village these days. In fact, you only need one hand to count them all. We have sisters, second-year middle schooler Komari and first-year middle schooler Natsumi. Their older brother Suguru is in the 3rd grade and will transfer out of the village for high school at the end of his current grade. We have Hotaru, a 5th grade elementary school student whose family moved to Ashigaoka from Tokyo for her father's work. She is the fish-out-of-water character, an audience surrogate in a way, so viewers can get to know the idiosyncrasies of life in this out-of-the-way community. Then we have Renge, a 1st grade student, who started school at the beginning of the 1st season, and the beginning of the 2nd season, and the beginning of the 3rd season. Yes, each season covers the same year, from start to finish, with scenes taking place at different points in time and not always in chronological order. Watch for Renge's bicycle prowess as a hint, as well as the changing seasons, as seen by the leaves on the trees. It is not until the end of Season 3 that Renge finally finishes 1st grade and gets ready for Grade 2. 5 students, all in the same classroom with the same teacher, Kazuho, who is Renge's oldest sister. She prepares lessons for each of the 5 grades, deals with all homework on her own, and often takes naps during school time because, well, she's exhausted. Renge has one more sister, Hikage, who has already left the village to attend high school in Tokyo. She comes back for visits from time to time. 5 students, 1 teacher, plus 1 more sister who appears now and then. That leaves 1 more major character to mention. Kaede is 20 years old and has taken over the local candy store that she inherited from her grandmother. With barely a handful of customers, even though they are extremely loyal, Kaede struggles with money but seems to enjoy her life. All of the kids call her Dagashiya, which means candy store in Japanese, and more often than not, they entice her into their antics. Dagashiya has a special bond with Renge, almost like mother and daughter, and Kaede would do anything to protect Renge's happiness. Me too, Dagashiya. Me too. It was Kaede, in fact, who closed up the shop for a day to help Renge learn to ride her bicycle. A skill that gave Renge new freedom to explore and equality with the older kids so they could always adventure together. So, why do I like Renge? What makes her rise up to Naushka level in my eyes? Well, let me explain. Renge seems to be somewhere on the spectrum. This is not a disability in any way, but she seems to process emotions differently from the other kids, and she seems able to focus more intently on things than would be expected for someone of her age. One time when Renge showed sadness was after meeting someone new in the village during the summer, a little girl named Honoka. This was the first time Renge had someone to play with her own age, and they became instantly inseparable until Honoka had to leave as suddenly as she appeared when her family was called back to Tokyo. They didn't have a chance to say goodbye. Things work out short-term and longer-term with Renge and Honoka, but I will let you find that out for yourself when you watch the anime. You will watch the anime, won't you? Renge does get angry too, though, especially when people are dishonest. Her oldest sister enlisted everyone's help in setting up some greenhouses to grow vegetables. She told Renge later that they were planting green peppers, causing Renge to lose interest as she doesn't favor them. Before apologizing for the joke, they were actually growing tomatoes. Renge's anger soon faded, though, as she watched the plants grow every day. Renge takes pride in her achievements, be it making a grass whistle or sharing her fresh tomatoes as the summer Santa. It is while delivering tomatoes to neighbors that Renge meets Shiori, a girl younger than her who had just moved to the village and gotten lost. Renge helped her get home and earned her first Onei-san, big sister, from her new friend. So, Renge processes emotions differently, values honesty, works hard and takes pride in her work, is always ready to help anyone in need. What else? She is extremely intelligent, probably a genius. She taught herself multiplication by just adding the values together in her head and gets amazing scores on her schoolwork. She is a fantastic natural artist and loves making sketches of the world and people around her. She is musical, always creating songs and dances to accent her day-to-day routines. She is creative at naming animals, especially her tanuki, Goo. She can fight if she has to, specifically going after the collarbone. She has an Nendoroid figure, including her recorder and Goo, number 445. I have it. She is observant and appreciative, noticing that each day is different from the ones before, whether it is the clouds in the sky or the flowers growing beside the road. She respects nature and life and the environment, and this respect fuels her curiosity and drive to understand how things work. In a lot of ways, she is similar to Naushka, I suppose, but Renge is no copy. She is a deep, wise, interesting, fully realized character that everyone would do well to emulate and learn from. Yes, Renge easily earns her spot alongside Naushka at the top of my list. Watch Non Biyori and see how you feel. If you do watch it, toss out a nyampasu to your friends in the morning, whether they get it or not. Have you seen Non Biyori? Do you know who Renge is? Are there other characters from that anime you like more than Renge? Who is your favorite female anime character? Let me know your answers in the comments. There are tons of people to choose from, and my preferences are by no means a slight on others. Any and all comments are welcome. If you know anyone who might be interested in this video and might want to weigh in on their favorite female anime character, please share this with them as well. And if you enjoyed my video and want more content like this, leave a like to let me know and consider subscribing to my channel. It would be greatly appreciated. A little trivia before I fade out. In the anime, Renge is voiced by Kotori Koiwa, a seiyuu, lyricist, composer, and singer hailing from Kyoto. I mentioned that Renge is probably a genius, right? Well, Kotori seems to be one too. She is a member of Mensa! Wow! If you're a fan of Bocchi the Rock, Kotori provides the voice for P.A.-san, who runs the equipment in Starry, as well as the cute woofs of Hitori's family's dog, Jimmy Hen. Thanks for your time, thanks for your attention, and thanks for watching. See you next time.